What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lockdown Connection. I'm your host, Beetlejuice, and today we have a very special guest, BJ Bright, aka Shinbone. How is it going, Shinbone? How you doing today, my man?
Oh man, shit, feeling good, man, feeling good.
So you had some jail stories that you wanted to share with the Lockdown Connection tonight. How many times have you been locked up, BJ?
Man, I've unfortunately been locked up like 37 times, bro.
37 times. Now, BJ, where are you from?
I'm from Iowa.
From Iowa. So you've done most of your time in the Iowa jails, or have you been locked up anywhere else?
I got locked up in this little town, I'd say about 158 miles from where I live at, called Atumwa. I spent 3 days down there sleeping in a holding cell on the concrete with no shower or nothing, waiting to be expedited back up here to Des Moines to get back up here to do another 3 months.
So you did 3 months that round. So what is the longest you've done in the city jail, and what was you arrested for on the time that you did your longest sentence?
My longest sentence in the city jail up here in Iowa was like 6 months straight, and I was arrested on possession of 2 handguns, possession of weed, false name, and a warrant. And I was facing
So
72 years in federal prison.
so basically so you were facing some pretty serious charges, and you did 6 months. What up until what you went to court?
I fought my case for 6 months waiting to go to court and everything. Um, the only reason I really beat my case is because my co-defendant took a plea deal because he knew he was already going to prison and said, fuck it. I'll just cop out to the 2 pistols, man. You cop out to everything else and we good. I'm going to prison already. Fuck it.
So your co-defendant ate the charge. Now, how
Yeah, it was
crazy is the jails there in Iowa? Because a lot of people think Iowa, they think cornfields, not too rough and tough. But how is the jails like in Iowa?
hey, let me tell you, man, it ain't no joke down here. Cause like I said, I did 6 months fighting my cases, man. I took my shit to trial 3 times. The fourth time I was about to go, they basically told me, man, if you don't take our plea deal of 72 years, we're gonna give you 100 years if you're found guilty. Man, the whole time I'm in the can, fan, for that 6 months, I've seen people literally get beat down by COs. I've seen people literally just pick up garbage cans and smash somebody with it. I tore up the place a couple times. Like it gets violent down here, bro.
So
I've had
how
people
about
try to
gangs?
stab me.
What about gangs in the Iowa jail system? Is there a lot of gang activity? Is there a lot of Bloods, Crips? Who controls the jails there
Uh,
in Iowa?
we really don't have too many Bloods down here. We got a few Bloods down here, but it's more 88s, Crips, and like Vice Lords and stuff like that down here. But man, it definitely, there is a lot of gangs in the jail systems down here. Like if you don't know who you're like supposed to be around and who you're not supposed to be around, and you get to saying the wrong thing, oh, I feel bad for you in that pod. You better kite your ass out that pod.
Yeah. Now you said you seen people, the guards, attack people in the Iowa jail while you was there. What transpired to have the guards attacking people, or was it just they were out to get people? Or fill me in, let me understand what you're
It,
saying by you seen guards attacking people.
the one guard they called in on his day off because dude called in sick, so they brought him in. He said, "Yo, I can't come in. I've been drinking." They said, "Well, that's not our problem. You better come in anyway." They let him come in and go to the shoe. This man unlocked 37 doors and allowed all the inmates to come out and beat each other.
Oh wow! So he showed up to work intoxicated, and you saying he done let everybody in lockdown out to throw hands.
Dog, it was the dumbest shit I have ever seen in my life.
Now, was you in the shoe when this happened?
I unfortunately didn't come into the shoe until like 3 days later.
Oh, okay. So he let these people out. They got in a fight. What happened to that CO?
Oh, he got suspended for 6 months.
So that's all they did for him showing up drunk and letting inmates out, was they gave him 6 months suspension.
I mean, realistically, they could have gave him more, but they really couldn't fire him because he told him right off the bat, like they like he told him
Yeah,
in the interview when they did all his little stuff that he had
that
told
he
him
had been
prior,
drinking.
yeah, that he
Yeah.
had been drinking.
Well, that's just
So that's
crazy.
why they
Now,
gave him 6 months
I
leave.
I have been locked up in the city jail here where I'm at, and I have seen COs that smelled like alcohol, and I know for a fact that had been drinking. So I've seen
Yep.
it, and I'm sure that's probably common around the country a little bit, as some of these, correctional
I mean,
officers
you
have
can't
been
come in
hitting the
reeking
bottle
like
a little
reefer,
bit.
you know what I'm saying? You can come in smelling like a bottle. Oh man, that was my mouthwash.
Well, no, because it's a difference between mouthwash and malt
Hey
liquor. You
fam,
know what I'm saying?
a lot of
You
these
can smell
people,
the
when you
difference.
in the court, when you in the jail systems, a lot of the people that you working with just don't care. They just gonna overlook it when you say mouthwash, just because you work with them every day.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that. And they look out for each other. They're all friends anyway. So you said you ended up in the shoe, BJ. What now? You were facing the gun charges. Did you get up in there? Did you get in a fight or something? What ended it you got you put in the hole?
What had got me put in the hole was, like I was saying, my initial charges were the two gun charges, the weed, the false name, and a warrant. When I had first got in there, the COs knew me pretty well because, like I said, I've done about 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying, in the
Yeah, in
city
and
jail
out of
down
that
here
jail.
in
Now, what city jail is that?
Polk County.
Polk County. Okay.
But
So you did over 2.5 years in that jail, but this time you was in there doing a 6 month bid.
yeah, and like the COs knew me pretty well, and they told the arresting officers like, yeah, you know this ain't BJ Bright, right? They was like, what do you mean? They was like, yeah, y'all, this ain't BJ Bright. This is his name right here. Da da da. They got so pissed off because my initial charges were just the possession of weed, and then when they had to
Yeah.
redo all their paperwork, they hit me with all those charges. I got in here. They charged me my $79 for my pillow and blanket. They didn't want to give me no blanket, so I turned up in here, dog. I tried to fight the sergeant, try to fight the COs, started trying to
Okay.
punch windows out. Like
So
I
they're
went
in
nuts,
Iowa.
dude.
So they're in Iowa. You have to pay them what, $72? You said
$79 a day to be in there.
$79 a day. Here
Seventy-nine
in V
dollars a day.
here in VA, the city that I'm in, it is, I think it's $2.50 a day to be in jail, or $1.50 a day.
I need to
And
move
if
to
you
the
don't
VA.
pay it, look, and if you don't pay it, they take it off. Say your family puts money on your canteen or anything like that, they take it off your canteen.
Oh,
So
see, they
you
don't
got
even
it.
do that down here. The only thing they take off canteen down here for is your medical expenses while you're in there, and if you're getting ready to be shipped to prison, they take what money you have left on your canteen off and use that to your $200 trip to go to prison.
Oh yeah. Well, here they they charge you rent. They take it off your canteen. So there's no way, if you can't pay the rent, you can't get canteen. That's
Yeah.
how they work it. So they get their money. You know how the system is. So
Hey,
so
they
they
don't
didn't
even.
give you they didn't give you a blanket. See, that don't come in our canteen here. That's when you first go in. They'll give you, your jumper, your onesie, the orange one. You go in, of course, you're gonna take a shower, wash your hair with some light shampoo, and then they'll take you to Holden for a day, and then they'll throw your ass in the pod. But they don't charge you for the blanket. They usually just give you that when you first get there.
Dog, I'm moving to VA.
You
They
say you're
drag
moving to
me down
VA.
here, fam. You first get into the jail down here, bruh. You better hope it's not the weekend when your ass go to jail, cause you might be sitting in the fishbowl for 2 or 3 days trying to get processed. I
Yeah.
literally went in at like 9 o'clock at night, dog. It took me until 5:30 in the morning before they started taking my fingerprints, dude. And I sat in the holding cell until the next morning at about 9:30, maybe 10:30, before I seen the judge. And then they put me back in that holding cell. That's when I turned up because I realized, like, yo, you ain't going nowhere, dog.
Let me
They
ask you
gave
this,
me my
BJ. Was the cold cell freezing cold?
dog always, bro. And then you sitting
Yeah,
up in there with 12 other people and they all got they stinking ass feet, man. Like, come on, man.
yeah. I mean, for some reason, the holding cells are always freezing cold. It's like I
It's
think
not
they
even
do it
just the
because
holding
of
cells down
DUI,
here.
because the cold sober you up. And I think a lot of people, when they come in holding, most of the time, it's more DUIs and stuff like that, and people drunk getting arrested late at night. So they keep it freezing cold, I believe, to sober people up. But when you ended up stuck in one of them holding cells for too long, you would damn near freeze to death.
Bro, they got it like that through the whole jail down here, bro. They keep it cold all year round.
You know, and look, BJ, it's so cold that I was processed one time and I sat in holding, I think, for like, I don't know, 30 hours in the freezing cold, no blanket, no nothing. They got me, it was summertime, but they keep the jail so cold. I had no socks on. I was just in there freezing. When they got me to the pod, I was shaking so bad. The first thing I did was grab my blanket, climb up on my bunk, cover up, and I was shivering. People in the jail thought I was dope sick. Right.
Damn.
They were trying to give me candy and stuff because, you know, they thought I was kicking dope because the way I was shivering, but I was shivering because I was so cold from all the hours that I had sit, and that it took me at least 5 hours to get my body temperature back up to what I felt like was a normal body temperature. I felt like a block of ice. It was so cold. So share some of the crazy things with us that you seen while you was in there. Is there any crazy fights? Well, you see anybody get stabbed? Anything like that, BJ?
Man, I seen hella crazy fights. I had one dude actually try to stab me because he was trying to extort me out of my commissary because I had so much money on my books. They ended up putting like $2,000 on my books because when they realized I wasn't going nowhere, they was gonna pay my bond for me. I basically told them, y'all are stupid. If y'all pay that bond, I'll lose it on y'all, dude. Because they wanted almost $12,000 in cash for my bond, and I knew I was gonna go back as soon as I went to court the first time. So it's like, don't waste that $12,000. So I'm up in here, you know what I'm saying?
That $12,000 is only gonna get you out for a couple months, and then when you go in front of the judge, they're putting you back anyway. Yeah,
I swear. But while I was in there, I was buying all types of commissary. I was ordering like $200 bags all the time, right? So dude in there was getting a little jelly about it. He basically tried to extort me, basically talking about, man, if you want to stay safe, you basically gonna pay me. And I told him, like, man, you think I'm paying anything, you might as well come up in this cell and take it. Hey, it wasn't but a couple days later, he came at me, tried to take some stuff. I didn't let him take nothing, bruh. Maybe a week and a half later, man, red team coming and started shaking the whole jail down because the whole jail was reeking of weed. Somebody in the South pod was rolling up joints and blowing it through the vent system, man, and it was reeking up the whole jail. So they came in, done a sweep through the jail. Hey, this man right here ended up taking his broom that they give you and turning it into a shank and was going to stick me because he couldn't get nothing from me, dog.
So did they catch that when they did the shakedown? Did they find his shank?
Yeah, they found it shank. That's the only reason he wasn't able to stick me.
So thank God for the COs that day, right? They did their job.
Hey, no, screw the COs. Thank God for the dude that was smoking weed.
Yeah, thank God for the dude smoking weed. Now, far as the drugs there,
weed, they would have never done the shakedown.
Now we'll roll into this. Now in Iowa jail there in Polk County, was there a lot of drugs in the jail? Did you see a lot of contraband type stuff like that?
One of my guys that was in there, he had a cell phone. You could find weed all over the South Wing. There was one dude in the North Wing that had meth. Man, you could find a lot of different shit up in there. You even could find K2 in there, bro.
Yeah, well, when I was locked up here, and I think our security at our jail is pretty good. Like they're on top of you, like pretty hard. There were still drugs getting into the jail. They actually had some kush when I was in there. Somebody tried to sell me some for some honey buns, and I was like, no way, because I was only had 3 months, and I was like, I ain't going to turn this 3 months into another year in 3 months. So I turned that down, and they had the whole jail, BJ. Like what they would do was they was walking around with baby powder and put it in their hands, and they would smoke, and then they would go and blow a big ass cloud of baby powder into the air, right? But you know, jail smells like a shitty baby diaper, and then you start blowing.
It smelled like corn chips and piss,
right? Then you blow that baby powder into the air, then it really smells like a doo-doo diaper, right? I swear. The whole pod smells like a big doo-doo diaper, especially with the baby powder in the air. And they were doing it right near the COs. They thought that was the safest place.
Bro, you're supposed to go to the rec room and do that, man, where you do your push-ups and your lunges.
Look, where we at, they got one desk that one dep sits at, right? And then the showers are right next to it. And usually the showers are kind of steamy and stuff like that. So they would They would walk behind the deputy every time he turned. They blow a little cloud of baby powder, right? And I'm tripping because I had never seen them do that. I was like, okay, these dudes on their game, they good with it, right? And they just every time he turned, they turned, and they would just maneuvering this dude like they had nothing but time to study people, right? So they knew where he'd be, and
I know
they got
exactly
away
what they
with it.
mean, though. Like I had
And
it
I'm
down
talking about
so good.
they were smoking loud. I'm talking straight Kush, lime green, right? I was like stuff I couldn't even find on the street. They were smoking up in there, and they were getting away with it, you know. And that's a block with 100 people in it, but it ain't very big.
Nah, not very big at all.
Because I don't know about our
like,
city jail are floors. Like we have it done by floors. Like the jail is not one long stretch. It's like the first floor is like processing. Second floor is for your felons. There's no third floor because that's where they keep all the piping and they can make sure you don't flush stuff down. They got keep all their plumbing and everything on the third floor. And then your fourth floor is Supermax and misdemeanor charges. They keep misdemeanor charges right next to the Supermax, which I never understood that, but that's how it works.
That's stupid.
Because it's high up. It's high up on the floor. So if you was to try to escape, you got to escape 4 floors. You really can't jump from the roof from there. So I guess that's why they keep Supermax up top.
I mean, the Supermax, I can see that, but the petty crime people, like, what you got them up there for?
Well, I don't know why they put petty crime. When I was there, BJ, the whole thing is the city jail that I was in. They turned it from a jail to a correctional facility because a correctional facility can hold you up to 5 years, but a jail can't hold you but a year. Okay, so they want to hold people for longer because they make more money off of DOC inmates, Department of Correction inmates, prisoners. The jail gets more money for. So what they were doing when I was there, they were building what they called tent cities in the back of the jail, which were these concrete buildings with tent tops. With
just tents.
So what they would do is now they were taking all the low-level dudes from 4, and they were bringing them down and putting them in the back of the backyard of the jail in tents.
Yep, letting them sit right outside, but they still in the gated area with the guards watching all the time.
Yeah, they're still in the gated area with guards. But, because they're not worried about, the dude that stole a DVD from Walmart escaping. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so it's all the petty crimes, the dumbest inmate ever
that they have pushed outside so they can make more money off of DOC inmates. Because, this is a business we were talking about it earlier because, the presidential election and, Kamala Harris, she was saying that she wants to do away with private prisons, people getting paid for you to sit in prison. And I could agree with her on that. I don't agree with everything on the left, but I do agree that we do need to get rid of private prisons and things like that.
Yeah, because that would change a lot of things.
Just like I think we need better training for our police officers on the street, I think we also need better training for the COs that are looking over people that are in the jail, because I had some really, really terrible COs that were making up things on me, walking by me, joking, laughing at me, and just poking fun and trying to get a reaction. Now, these are the people overseeing everybody in the jail, and they're treating people horrible. And did you experience any of that with this horrible, terrible COs right in Iowa?
Yes, I did, bro. I literally hated McFarley and Richmond so much, bro. Like, I swear to God, if they weren't COs and they were just regular inmates, I would have beat them so badly with one of them blue chairs, fam. Like, I had Richmond, dog. He used to come in my house all the time, bro, and just start throwing my house around, dog, flipping shit, dog, throwing all my food and shit on the floor while I'm in the shower, bro. Like, dog, I come up in my room after like the 4th time of that, dude. He wasn't in here searching nobody else's cells. You want to talk about, well, I have the right to search anybody's cell in here when I come in as a new CO on the deck. Okay, why are you only doing it to me then, bruh? What's going on here? Yo, I finally lost my shit on him and said, look, bitch, how would you like it if I came to your house and started flipping your household and just started leaving all your stuff in the floor because I had the right to do that? You wouldn't like it very much, would you? Then Richmond, he always wanted to sit here and try to write me up talking about, oh, he passing this, he passing that, he doing window cells, this and that. Man, I was about to slap the life out of both of them goofies.
Yeah.